In the previous classes, we all discussed about the British came to India and then they made many wars in our country and then they established their political power in our country. But before that, we came to know that the intention of the British in India was just to make trade. In the beginning, they have fulfilled their commercial purpose. But later what happened? They observed the political situations of India, the two fractured political situation. By observing that, they decided that to exploit the situation of Indian kingdoms. That means in entire India, many hundred kingdoms were there. There was no unity between them. Thus, the British decided to exploit the situation in India and to consolidate their political power. So because of this, the British followed a policy which is called as divide and rule policy. Divide and rule policy means interfering into the political matters of Indian kingdoms, and then they used to make one king to declare war on another one. Okay, so like this they followed the divide policy, and while implementing this divide and rule policy, the British followed two methods. One is war and another one is negotiation. War and negotiation. So here war means they used to create the situation between two countries or between two kingdoms that they should make war. By this time they used to support for one king and they used to get victory over the another king. So during that time also they used to get huge benefit. And then they used to make war between two kingdoms and they used to interfere, and then they were making negotiation between those two kingdoms. Even there also they used to make many advantages. Okay, so like this, by implementing this war and negotiation methods, the British successfully they got control over entire India. But after getting control over entire India, the British decided that to make one kind of administration. So that means more than 500 kingdoms were there. In each and every kingdom there was different kind of administration, different kind of law systems were there. Okay, so the British decided that instead of different kind of administration, law and order, rules and regulations, let us make one kind of administration, uniform system of administration. So because of this, the British implemented many type of policies. For example, in the field of education, in the field of revenue, in the field of police department, in the field of army, okay, and in the field of judiciary, in the field of civil service. So like this, in a different field, the British introduced many policies. So through this, they brought India. Through this, they integrated whole India under one administration. So while implementing these policies, the British did not forget their financial interest. So that means before this only I told that the British are ready to lose their political power but not financially. Okay, so thus the British cunningly they implemented many type of policies in India. But after implementing of all these policies, how it impacted over our country. So about that, today let us discuss in the lesson the impact of British rule in India. The impact of British rule in India. The first policy was introduced by the British East India Company in India was civil service. In the field of civil services, the British government brought many changes. But before that, how was the condition? The British East India Company, it got permission from the British government to appoint private traders. So that means along with the British East India Company, its officers were there, they used to give permission for the private traders to make trade in India. While giving permission, they have made a lot of money and they became corrupt. So thus, British East India Company, almost all the officers corrupted. As the British government observed this one, they decided to control this English East India Company. So that's what they implemented the Regulating Act in the year of 1773. So after the implementation of Regulating Act in India, so almost all the trade came under the control of the British government. And here, to make trade, workers were needed. So because of this, Lord Cornwallis, he started the administration of civil services. Administration of civil services. So because of this, he started a college at the place of Calcutta. College name is Fort William College. He started Fort William College at the place of Calcutta. His intention is those who will take civil services, so for them he wanted to give training. So that's what he started this college. But the English East India Company directors did not support for this. So as a result, what happened, until 1853, the directors of the English East India Company itself, they used to appoint the laborers or workers to make the trade. As a result, what happened, after 1853, Lord Cornwallis, after 1853, what happened, to appoint the trade, to appoint the workers to make trade, the British government started to make the competitive examinations. So through the competitive examination, they started to appoint the workers. But through these competitive examinations, the Indians did not get more profit. Why? Because almost all the British officers had the intention that all the Indians are corrupted. So like that intention they had. So because of this only lower grade of the work or lower grade of the jobs were available for Indians. So thus the British government or British East India Company implemented civil services in India. The next experiment was introduced by British in India, that is judicial system. Actually, when the Mughal Empire started in India, after that they introduced a new kind of judicial system. But after the battle of Plassey and the Buxar, the British gained power over Bengal. They introduced the dual government over there and they started to collect the revenue. So that means they got the authority to collect the land revenue over Bengal. Another side, gradually the Mughal Empire declined. So by this time, the British government decided to get complete authority over the judicial system also. As a result, what happened? In the year of 1772, Warren Hastings, the governor of Bengal, Warren Hastings, he decided to implement new type of judicial system in India. As a result, in each and every district, he introduced the two type of courts. Okay, one is a Diwani Adalat. A Diwani Adalat, nothing but a civil court, and another side a Fauzdari Adalat. Fauzdari Adalat is nothing but criminal court. Here one thing we have to observe, students, in Diwani Adalat, that means in the civil courts, both Hindus and Muslims, they used to get judgment according to their religion. For example, Hindus used to get judgment on the basis of Hindu sculptures. Likewise, the the Muslims used to get as per the Shariat. So on the basis of their religious matter itself, they used to get the judgment. But later on, what happened, both in the civil court and the criminal court, the British government started to implement their own legal procedures. As a result, many changes took place. Okay, for example, till now, Diwani Adalat, civil court and criminal courts were they were under the control of Indians itself. But later on, what happened? Slowly, Diwani courts and criminal courts came under the control of the Europeans. As a result, what happened? A lot of discrimination took place while giving the judgment. A lot of partialities also we can see while giving judgment towards Indians. So this is the system which was introduced by the British government in India, that is judicial system. The next policy was introduced by the British government, so that is police system. Students, as you all know that to protect the country from the external powers, we have army. Then to maintain the internal law and order, we are in need of police. So that police department was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. So Lord Cornwallis very effectively introduced the police system in India. So he first in each and every district, he appointed a new officer who is called as Superintendent of Police. It's called as SP. Okay, so he was the chief of police department, and also he divided each and every district into many stations. Okay, for that stations he appointed kotwal, and further each and every village is there, no? So for that he kept under the control of Chaukidar. So Chaukidar had the power over a village, Kotwal had the power over a district, and entire many districts were under the control of superintendent of police. So here whatever the illegal activities take place or crime takes place, it was managing by the Kotwal in the villages with the help of the Chaukidars. So like this, very effectively a police department was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. But later what happened, in 1770s a severe drought took place in India. So because of this what happened, Indian law and order became very weak. As a result what happened, British East India Company decided to bring entire police system or entire police department under the control of British officers who were called as magistrates. So magistrates were the British officers. After establishing this post, entire police department came under the control of magistrates. So later on what happened, almost all the police officers used to work under the guidance of magistrate itself. So as a result what happened, Indians did not get any kind of opportunities here. And in the year of 1861, Indian Police Act was implemented. So according to this, those who are qualified, so for them we have to give the very good post in the police department. So like that when law was implemented, but after implementing this law also, Indians did not get any kind of benefit. And in the year of 1902 also, a police commission allowed Indians to take place in the police department in the higher post. Okay, but though they have taken many kind of measures also, Indians did not get any kind of best opportunities in this policy. Okay, so this is the policy introduced by British government, so that is police system.
ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಂದೇಹಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ತರಗತಿಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತಲುಪುವಂತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ.